So on June 10th, we have a great under-the-radar fight between Josh Taylor and Teofimo Lopez. In this video, I'll be telling you guys why Josh Taylor defeats Teofimo Lopez. I'll be telling you my reasoning. So the first reason for why Taylor wins this fight, and before anything, this is a great fight, a very tough fight to call. Both fighters have multiple different keys to victory, but the first reason is strength. Now, Josh Taylor, out of the two fighters, is obviously the stronger physical fighter. We've seen him use physicality in the past, and we've seen him very effective at it. Even in his last bout against Jack Catterall, the worst performance of his career without doubt, a fight I felt Taylor lost, and most people felt he lost as well. We saw him use his physicality to his advantage. We saw him do it against Jose Ramirez, and I'd say the biggest fight we saw him do it in was against Regis Prograis, where it was a very competitive fight. Some say Prograis won. I scored the fight twice, 7-5 Taylor or 6-6 even. But when Taylor had success, when he was having his moments and winning his rounds, he was using his size, pushing Prograis back, using his shoulders, using his arms and elbows, and asserting physical control of the fight. And Teofimo Lopez isn't a weak fighter physically, but Taylor is a lot stronger. And what makes him stronger is my second reason for having Taylor win this fight is his size and strength. Josh Taylor is the stronger of the two fighters, and he's also bigger than Teofimo Lopez. Josh Taylor is 5'10", while Teofimo Lopez is 5'8", so he's already taller, but he's also physically bigger. This is Teofimo Lopez's third fight at the 140 weight class, and when you look at his weigh-ins for 140, the first two times he's fought there against Pedro Campa and Sandor Martin, he only came in at 138 3/4 against Campa and 139 1/4 against Martin. So he's getting more used to the weight, but he's still a little small, a little lower for the 140 weight class. And Josh Taylor, he's a guy that apparently has been having issues making weight in the past and has been contemplating moving up to 147 for a bit. And if he's the type of guy who's having issues making 140 and Teofimo Lopez is just moving up to 140, then Josh Taylor is going to be noticeably and considerably bigger than Teofimo Lopez. That's why I believe he's going to be so much stronger than him when it comes to brute strength in the ring. But he's also isn't going to be used to taking shots from a guy as big as Josh Taylor. And Teofimo Lopez's power won't translate as well against a guy who's as big as Josh Taylor. The bigger you are, the better you can take a big shot, especially in a sport like boxing. And if Josh Taylor is the biggest guy Teofimo's ever fought, and Teofimo's arguably the smallest guy Taylor's ever fought, he's going to be able to take those shots well, and it's going to be much easier for him to assert physical control and use his brute strength in the ring. The third reason that Taylor wins this fight is pressure. We saw Teofimo Lopez have issues with fighters pressuring him in the past. Now, there's times where it's a strength for Lopez, as we saw in the Richard Commey fight, where Commey tried pressuring Lopez and tried fighting him in the middle of the ring, and it went in Lopez's favor. We've seen it give him issues in the past as well, when Vasyl Lomachenko figured Lopez out, and yes, he didn't get the victory, but once he started to fully pressure Lopez and fight with aggression and force him on the back foot, he took over the fight. We saw Kambosos have a lot of success once he pushed Lopez back. We saw Pedro Campa have moments when he pushed Teofimo Lopez back. Josh Taylor has very good, very effective pressure. He is very strong when coming forward. It's very hard to force him on the back foot, and when he comes forward, he has a lot of success. I know Jack Catterall was countering him all night in their bout, but Taylor was much more comfortable when he was pressuring Catterall than when Catterall had him on the back foot. And Teofimo Lopez, he seems to be a guy who prefers to fight on the front foot than on the back foot, and Taylor, being an effective pressure fighter, will definitely be success on the inside for sure. However, he fights much better at mid-range and on the outside, while Josh Taylor seems to fight pretty good on both, but honestly, I think he's fought better on the inside than on the outside throughout his career. Even when you look at the Jose Ramirez fight, he won that fight very clearly, in my opinion. It was a comfortable win for Taylor, in my opinion. You know, when you look at the scorecards, the knockdowns was the only difference, but I felt that he won 8 rounds to 4, and he kind of got robbed of a 7th round KO victory because the ref kind of stopped the count and messed up and whatever. But when you look at that fight, when he fought Ramirez on the outside, he had success, but when he fought him on the inside, he had a lot more success. That's when he was much more dominant and was looking much better. Josh Taylor is a very strong inside fighter, and Teofimo Lopez, he has great counters, he has great uppercuts, especially when the fight's on the inside. However, aside from a few shots here and there, I feel Josh Taylor is much more comfortable on the inside, and with his size advantage, like I mentioned earlier, and with his strength advantage, like I mentioned earlier, the inside game will definitely be in Josh Taylor's favor. And the fifth reason is ring IQ. Now, Both fighters are top-tier professional boxers. They both have good ring IQ. However, Teofimo Lopez fights a lot more emotional than Josh Taylor. We saw it in the George Kambosos fight, his only pro defeat. He came in bum-rushing Kambosos, trying to put him away early, and he got countered right away. And after that early knockdown, it took him some time to start to build up some momentum in the fight. And once he did, it was too little too late. We've seen Teofimo Lopez make a lot of mistakes in the ring, and I don't believe he's as tactful as Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, there's a reason he's still undefeated, even though you can make a case that he lost his last fight. He always finds a way to win the fight. Against Jack Catterall, he knew he needed to dig deep in the later rounds, and he did so. Even if he thought he lost, he made it close enough to where they can give him the win. His ring IQ is very good. He sets his shots up very well. He paces himself very well. He strategizes very well in the ring, and he outsmarts his opponents throughout all of his fights. Now, Teofimo Lopez has done that in the past. I would say the best time he's done it is the Vasyl Lomachenko fight and the Richard Commey fight when he countered Richard Commey. There was a video made on YouTube, I forgot who made it, where he perfectly described how Teofimo Lopez set up that right hand, how he knew that right hand was coming, and how perfect he countered it. Against Vasyl Lomachenko, he showed very good ring IQ as well. However, against Kambosos, he did not show great ring IQ, and against Sandor Martin, a fight that many people thought he lost, very close fight, he did not show great ring IQ either. Now, Josh Taylor, we've seen him fight very strategic in the past. We saw him do it against Baranchik, Prograis, Ramirez, and I believe he's the smarter of the two fighters. He's the bigger of the two fighters, and he's the stronger of the two fighters, and that is why Josh Taylor defeats Teofimo Lopez. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick little recap, a quick little breakdown of the 5 reasons I listed for Josh Taylor. Reason number 1, his strength. He's the stronger of the two fighters, and he'll be able to use that. Number 2, his size, which will help with his strength. He's bigger than Teofimo Lopez. He's eventually going to move out of 140. Teofimo just moved into 140. So he's bigger than him, which will help him take the shots better. His shots will have more of an impact. The third reason is pressure. He has very effective pressure, and obviously his size and strength will help that. But his effective pressure in Teofimo Lopez, being a guy who prefers to fight on the front foot, being forced to fight on the back foot, will help Josh Taylor. The fourth reason, his inside work. He has a very efficient inside fighting, better than Teofimo Lopez's inside fighting, and that'll definitely help him. And the fifth reason, ring IQ. This may have to do with age, as Josh Taylor is the older of the two fighters. He's older. I would say ring experience, pro fighting experience goes to Taylor as well, but not by that much, because even though they have the same amount of pro fights, I would say Josh Taylor has been in the ring of better opposition throughout. I mean, he's fought Catterall, Ramirez, Prograis, Baranchik when Baranchik was in his prime, and Victor Postal. While Teofimo Lopez has fought very similar level of opposition, I wouldn't say Josh Taylor's fought much better opposition than Teofimo Lopez. But Lopez, he's only, aside from Vasyl Lomachenko and Richard Commey, Nakatani, I mean, Kambosos wasn't expected to be that great, and Sandor Martin, that was a guy who really came out of nowhere, and shout out to Sandor Martin. And to be honest, the Pedro Campo one is aging pretty well. So Teofimo Lopez has fought good opposition for sure, even though I would say Josh Taylor's fought slightly better opposition. So that is the fifth reason. Ring IQ goes to Taylor. I would say he's the smarter of the two fighters. He's the bigger of the two, the stronger of the two. He has better inside fighting, and I feel his pressure will be enough. But that's my final thoughts. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. What's your prediction for this fight? What's your reasoning for picking Taylor if you're picking him? And what's your reasoning for picking Lopez if you're picking him? Thanks for watching, guys. Tell me your thoughts down below. Have a good one. God bless. I'll see you guys later. Peace.